Hey everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to the stream. I hope you all are having a wonderful Monday so far. Today we got a pretty sweet deck. We're going to be playing Gym Leader Challenge again. It's basically the only format I play, you guys know that. Super excited about this format, have been for some time, getting a little bit more into it. We have another in-person event this Thursday, so I'm gearing up for that, but we're not going to be playing the deck that I'm going to be playing this Thursday just because of the lack of Scarlet and Violet cards that are on this format. We are going to be Dragonite game tonight. I'm excited about this Dragon deck, the Flash Call deck that we're going to be playing. Quick about GLC. It's a singleton format. You're not allowed to play any rules box Pokemon. You choose your favorite type and you go from there. It's kind of like EDH for Magic, but, it's Pokemon instead. So the deck we're going to be playing, again, we're going to be playing against Sarmakas here in a bit. Love playing against the dude, chill dude, love everything about him. But we're going to be playing this Dragon deck. Dragon has some really powerful cards in its card pool. It's a limited card pool, not a lot of mons to pick from, but the mons that we do have are pretty powerful. The issue comes in the fact that there is a lack of consistency due to their energy cost. So let's look through a couple of them on. So Dragonite is our main strategy here. The name of the deck is Fast Call. His ability is Fast Call. Again, once per turn, we can get any supporter from our deck, reveal it, and put it into our hand, which is very powerful. Once you get this going, you're basically just getting the card that you need for the situation and going from there. Now, you can look at its energy cost. We got Water, Lightning, and Colorless. Again, already a difficult spread there. Then besides that, we've got our next support Pokemon here in Gabite. With its Dragon Call ability, we get to search our deck for a Dragon Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into our hand, which evolves into Garchomp, whose ability is just out of this world. Sonic Slip, basically for that turn, he cannot be messed with. So this is a really, really, really powerful effect. And then you add that onto the top of the fact that just for 2 energy, again, different colored energies here. We got Water and Fighting. Dragon Blade is 160, but we do have to discard the top 2 cards of our deck, which we'll take because we're going to probably be taking a KO with this. Yeah, like he can't be attacked. It prevent all damage and effects of attack, so damage counters don't work. It's just insane. This card, like this ability, is just insane. Garchomp. Alright, this is one of my favorite cards. I've been kind of like bouncing back and forth between like whether or not I'm playing Salamence or whether or not I'm playing some other things. First off, let me give credit. This is D Leonardo's list. I'm just playing his list exactly. But when I was thinking about what deck to stream to you, this card was one that jumped out at me. It's got a couple of like pretty utilitarian attacks in the form of 1 energy in its other evolutions too. But this scaly uppercut attack is just insane when you pair it with U-turn board. Lightning, fighting energy, you do 90 damage plus 90 if you discard a tool. So if you discard U-turn board, it just comes back to our hand. So with U-turn board, we're just hitting for 180 damage every turn, plus it only costs 2 energy. Now, 2 energy is important. I'll bring it up here in a second for those of you who are new to this deck. Alright, Drampa, the Berserk ability is amazing when we've got damage counters on our Pokemon. Again, 70 plus 90 damage, we're hitting for 160 for 2 energy again. Revenge attack for 160 from our Druddigon. Again, fire, water, 2 energy. Great. So why does 2 energy matter? Oh, last mon here. Regidrago. It's just kind of our draw supporter. Very rarely are we going to use Giant Fangs. I mean, again, look at the energy cost that we have going on here. Grass, fire, colorless, just insane. So we've got a lot of different things happening with the energy cost, but all of this is kind of held together by the fact that this card exists. This card is insane. It is nuts. Double Dragon energy. Basically, 2 energy of any type at any time. So we can just put this bad boy on any of our Pokemon, go in for attacks, and that's kind of the strength of Dragon, is that you can get kind of these big, beefy basics, or even these big, beefy evolution Pokemon. You can evolve them, and for 1 energy attachment, you're attacking for 160 knockout lethal damage. Like, this card is what you want. I mean, Guzma and Hala is kind of the shell that kind of holds this together as well. Guzma and Hala being a way to grab a tool and an energy. Again, we talked about Kommo and its ability with U-turn. Well, U-turn, double Dragon Energy, both those cards in our hand, we can just go brrr and just get going. Besides that, just some typical supporters. We're playing, again, this is D Leonardo's list. Lance, obviously the best dragon supporter. Always play this card if you're playing dragons. And then some spice here. Acerola, put one of our Pokemon that has any damage counters back into our hand. And all cards attached. So we can reuse our double dragon energy if the situation calls. Because again, it comes back to our hand. That's a card I love. Let's get to playing here and see how the deck goes. Again, Dragon, pretty powerful. I'm excited about this deck. I've been excited about it for a while. Got it in paper. Played it a bit. I think it's maybe underplayed. Dragon, I think we go first because we just want to evolve Pokemon. I think it's correct to go first. And we have Gible, which is pretty good. And we have Quick Ball too, so I'm okay with this. So let's put down our Gible. Gible's not a bad one to start with. Obviously, we can't Ascension till next turn, which is a little sad. Now I'm kind of wishing we went second. I still think it's correct to go first. Well, we get to draw a bunch of cards. None of them particularly good. Wow, we got all this fighting energy in our hand. Let's Quick Ball. Let's ditch an energy. I think we kind of just want to get like our supporter Pokemon going. We are missing Dragonair, though. That's a little bit annoying. I own every type. I haven't competitively played every type yet. I guess we just probably get like a Drampa or something, right? Let's get Drampa going. Let's attach energy. I think just attach it to the Gible. Let's take a save this professor's letter for energy that we need later on. I'm partial right now fighting. Like the Hitmon Bros deck is like my go-to deck. That is my jam. Shout out to Joshua Blatty who made that deck. I love everything about that. The tempo behind that deck, the combo involved, the Pokemon work so synergistically together. The deck is great. I love everything about it. I wish it was better positioned. Like Psychic being so powerful just makes the fighting decks a little bit weaker overall in the meta. And then on top of that, like the colorless decks, which are considered one of your better matchups, even they have a couple flyers that make your resistance. So the fighting decks are just so poorly positioned, but that deck is a hoot to play. I love everything about it. That deck, and then I love the grass spread deck too. Again, I think that deck is also maybe a little underpowered. I have a knack for picking decks that are a little underpowered and kind of going all in on them as my favorites. I did the same thing when I played Magic. I'm doing the same thing now that I'm playing Pokemon. But man, the grass spread deck is another one that I love a lot. And I'm really enjoying the spread archetype as a whole. It's definitely something unique coming from Magic. You don't really have that same uniqueness in archetype that is spread. You have aggressive decks, you have control decks, you have mid-range decks. Alright. Well, we're looking a little sad. Yeah, it's definitely exciting that spread is playable. Obviously, some spread decks are better than others. Like I would argue that the spread deck, what is it? What's the spread deck? I mean, the Psychic spread deck is the best spread deck out of them all. Well, this is kind of annoying. Because we didn't really draw great, right? Like we're having another supporterless turn here. Lusamine's not super great. We can get rid of this Tropical Beach, which I think is the play. I think we're likely to find another fighting energy at some point. Let's go ahead and get water. Water is our second biggest energy burden on the deck, so we're going to go ahead and get the water, attach it to Drampa here. I'm hoping that nothing bad can happen. Melton, So our boy over here looks to be playing, I don't know, not the Evolutionary Advantage Bronzor. So I'm a little confused as to what is happening. But I do want to ascend. Let's get Gabite going. We can, like, I don't know if it's worth it or not, but we can, like, Gabite to go and get, that Professor's Letter only for 1 energy. Ooh, that was rough. I was talking a little bit and definitely didn't think. I was just like, oh yeah, fetching 1 energy. Nah. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, definitely should have grabbed, probably water and the last fighting maybe. But yeah, we could always Dragon Call for. Well, now we can't because we didn't have the Professor's Letter for the second water. But we could have Dragon Called to grab Garchomp, and we could get Garchomp in, which, like, I think the Metal deck might be able to deal a little bit better with a turn 2 Garchomp than other decks, especially if there are damage reduction. But what are Metal Links? There are Metal Links in here. I'm surprised that Sir Marcus isn't playing the Evolution Advantage. It's probably not, like, super relevant in most games. Well, Max punished, right? Another supportless turn here for us. Let's Dragon Call. I think we just go ahead and get Jangmo-o going. Let's attach an energy here. We can always retreat. I think we might want to invite an attack or two onto the Gabite. Something up a Dialga here, maybe. I don't know. We're both kind of slow to set up this game. Obviously, a little bit more bench Pokemon on the bench. They've got a couple of strong supporters. Like Magearna here is crazy. I bet Sir Marcus would love to get this in the active spot. Dialga here also doing the same. Here is, yep, there we go. There's Magearna in the active spot, going to overhaul. I think we did the right thing by getting rid of this Tropical Beach. Obviously, this martial arts dojo hasn't done much to help us, and it's gone now. But I think it was important to go ahead and play it. Here's an overhaul. Shuffle, draw 6. Let's see what we get. Well, there's another energy. We're doing so good, guys. We're doing so good. Like, I don't want Ordinary Rod or Super Rod energy back into my deck because I just keep drawing it, right? Like, we could be corkscrew punching here. Let's Dragon Call. Let's start here. Let's see what we can get. This is kind of a fun ability. I kind of want to do this. And then let's retreat here. We do have 2 energy now, so something to think about for Super Rod next turn. I probably don't mind waiting too much since we have the fighting energy in our hand. I don't think I want to Lusamine right away because we'll just get back Martial Arts Dojo, so I think I'm fine waiting on this. But let's Noble Roar here. I wouldn't, like, Dialga obviously would be a good option. They can get one of these cards back, but none of these cards are super great for them, especially greens now. So let's just Noble Roar and kind of be annoying to our opponent while we set up. Kind of bummed our Dragonairs in our prizes. I would love to draw a supporter. And that's where Dragonite comes in. He's win Heavy Ball from our opponent. We were talking about this card the other day. I think this card is just the best card in GLC. Like, it just makes non-games not a thing. And to think that this card was only recently printed. This card is just insane. Well, I think we successfully did it. Oh man, we could have been Garchomping. Well, so we can kill Melton. Do I want to kill Melton? Hey, normal heavy ball is playable in decks. Yeah, GLC decks. There's obviously a lot of powerful, strong trainers out there. Alright, I want to evolve. I do want to start taking some prizes because we are not looking in a particularly well positioned spot. I know that was an awkward sentence coming from me, but I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, our opponent is slow to set up, but we are also slow to set up. I think it's time to get Druddigon. I might want to get Dratini. I think we can always go and get Druddigon, right? And we've used our energy per turn. This Crystal Cave is not really annoying right now. I do want those 2 fighting energy back in my deck. I think it's okay to wait. Is it okay to wait? Probably not. We probably need them. Alright. Let's kill this. Let's take a prize. There's some water energy. Again, good for our Gabite and Garchomp there. Back to what you were saying, Necromancer. Every deck having the same 30 cards. There's definitely a lot, right? Like, there's probably like 10 supporter cards and maybe like another 10 item cards that every deck needs to play. And there's definitely a lot of homogeny amongst the top decks in terms of, these are the best cards, play them. And I think, while that feels like it doesn't add a uniqueness to a lot of the decks, I think that like the 1 or 2 spicy tech cards that you add to a deck can really, 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 really change how a deck plays. To give you an example, big fan of a new card that came out, Hawlucha from the Scarlet and Violet set, that when you play it onto your bench, it deals 1 damage to a couple different boys. I think I got it right here in front of me. See if I can do a good job. This is it right here, the Hawlucha. Super sweet card. Obviously some glare there on the screen. But I've been trying to work that card into the Hitmonbraze deck, and it works really well with Ninja Boy. So Ninja Boy is not a card that you see getting played in a lot of different decks, but it's definitely a card that's pretty cool. And so, again, there's that factor in this format as well. Alright, so we didn't get the thing that we needed either. We can heal damage. I forgot about this. This works for dragon Pokemon, doesn't it? That's pretty funny. Alright, let's level ball. I don't think we can get anything with level ball, which is sad. Let's Dragon Call. Do I want to get Garchomp to buy us a turn? Cool, Necromancer. Yeah, I'm definitely coming from Magic. Still have a lot of love for Magic. Went and played what is it called? Went and recently played a F&M. Let's put an energy here. We can always bail out and find a good energy. I think we just attack. I wish we hadn't shuffle the energy back in now, because Shout of Power would be nuts here, just setting up our revenge attack or Drampa's ability. I think because we don't have that, I think we just do another 90 here, which is going to get reduced and then healed a little bit too. Necromancer, how are you feeling about the Magic format? Since you're coming from Magic to GLC, you a modern player, standard player, pioneer player? I know you mentioned EDH too. All right. Well, that's sad. Um, let's. Man, we just really have been drawing super poorly in terms of almost everything. 'Tis the way of the GLC. Um, let's do this. Let's kind of coax our opponent out of something here. Sir Marcus is mentioning that we have a lot of water energy. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yeah, modern is still what I primarily play. Been playing Pioneer some recently. Haven't really enjoyed really any Magic formats, which is why we're here. Pre-modern was fun. I played pre-modern with my friend the other day too. I will say, like, out of all that, if you are coming from modern into Pokemon, Pokemon feels really refreshing. I've really enjoyed it. Would not change too much about this. I think you're seeing here, like, a really good example of what the Metal deck does really well is kind of recycling these stadiums, getting set up, and then obviously hiding behind a couple of beefy boys. This list is interesting. This is a pretty interesting list. Well, there's a Guzma. Pokemon is significantly cheaper. Like, one card in Modern that I own is Renin 6, which is like $150 card. I don't know if it's still that much at one point, but I have never paid that much for them. But like, it is a very expensive card, and that is like my entire GLC collection. Like, I have 10 decks right here, and probably like 4 of them equal the price of one Magic card. We are struggling. We are struggling. We can corkscrew punch something. Let's Guzma. Not the most exciting play. And then, do I just want to do this? I think so. Okay, Training Court, not a bad pickup. I wish it was Viridian Forest instead. Viridian Forest would have been a pretty sweet pickup there. We did get Pot Helmet, a Regidrago too. I don't know if we can get our hand down enough. Oh, you know what? We have the fighting energy, right? There's the fighting energy. Obviously, Drampa's attack isn't going to do as much because we don't have any things, any counters on our bench Pokemon. Stag Sticks. They got hit by a ban list a bit ago. Trying to think about what he was talking about, like what got hit on a ban. There was like a Kyogre list, a Kyogre spread deck. That was the most recent one. Well, there's another energy. That's good. We're finding our energy here. We had the Versus Seeker. This does what? Not enough? Alright. These are things I like to do. I think that was the most recent ban. I should have training courted. Didn't even think about it. Just did my play. I would love for Garchomp to live forever. Is it worth putting a pot helmet on it? And I would not like my opponent to ever heal themselves forever. This has free retreat too, which is like a very exciting thing for us. This is a funny card. I like it a lot. This is a very funny card. Alright, let's kill this. Let's discard two decks. Go up on prizes. Be cognizant of this. Be cognizant of this. Caparaja here. Annoyingly big, annoyingly strong. Here's Dialga. Here's Raihan. Okay. So, 160 damage. Huge attack cost. But if we have exactly 6 prizes amongst both of us, it does 1. It only costs 1. So 1 energy, 160 damage. Maybe should have bossed this one up. Just because it has such a ridiculous retreat cost. Can this do enough to kill my Garchomp? I don't think it can, right? It's for each metal energy. Okay, this counts as 2, I forgot, because it's a counter energy, right? Yeah, counter energy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 energy. He meant to get metal energy. So I think that we live. Okay. U-turn more. Wish we could have had that a little bit ago. Guess it didn't matter. Yeah, it still would have been short by 20 because of the pot helmet. So, are we taking another prize here? 30 less damage. We can do 160. Really would love to draw a fire energy. So, we're going to do this. And we're going to ditch the fighting energy. Then we're going to Training Court back the fighting energy. Put this on Drampa. Drampa is going to do some work. Let's heavy ball here just because. Basically what we knew already. I could like Lusamine a couple things back. We have Mallow Lana, we have Guzma. I think I might want Guzma. I think let's Lusamine here, and let's get back this stadium, and let's get back Guzma. Research and Mallow Lana are both interesting cards that are calling to me as well. I think we just want this. This might make our opponent try to interact with us in some way. Well, let's Berserk here. Dialga's down. Up on prizes again. Still, like, getting around this Caparaja is going to be annoying. There's the Dragonair. That's a sweet pickup. That's true. I get this card's pretty important, so what you're saying, Necromancer, about the pot helmet, I get. They had Lana's fishing rod anyway to put them both back in. That's definitely a card you want to protect early game, and the fact that it has such a scaling attack is pretty good. Well, here's Cobalion with its Revenge Blast. So 30 more damage for each prize that we've taken. It's definitely holding in its teeth. Okay. What's Dragonair's retreat cost? Man, everything's just got such a big retreat cost currently. We have no way to get the fighting energy. Oh, the fire energy? Alright, let's put out that. Just draw the fire energy, why don't you? Keep recycling our fighting energies. Let's find the fire. And let's revenge. Really no reason to Guzma there. I think we're just going to be taking prizes for the next couple turns. We're going to be short an attacker at some point. Oh, drawing the rare candy there. We're at exactly 6 prizes. I don't like Azelf and Psychic Spread. I think it's fine. It's a fine card. I own it. I'm going to turn you on to a list. I would look up, if you get a chance, going to Limitless TCG. You can get there by going to the Gym Leader website and then moving on from there. And there's a cardboard warrior by the name of Joshua Bellotti, who has always been a big inspiration to everything I do when it comes to Gym Leader Challenge stuff. And I really respect his advice and think that he's great at not only deck building, but building decks that are really fun. And so he built a really fun Psychic Spread list that is playing cards like there's an Elegim that has the Call for Family ability and a Behemoth that does 2 to everything that has the same type. Then there is like a Melee Oda that does coin flip damage. It can do up to 30 damage. So there's a lot of like different unique cards that I'm going to really recommend you look at on that deck. This is tough. We need 2 prizes. I need 2 prizes. I need to take 2 prizes here. Alright. So this is 160, and that currently can survive some attacks. We probably did this backwards. We probably should have put something else up and then Guzma. Is it still worth it? Like, we could Guzma install for a turn. This isn't doing any damage either. We could just Martial Arts Dojo, right? For the 10 extra damage that we need. We probably did this backwards too. I was supposed to Ordinary Rod first before we Sonia'd. Oops. Because then we could have gotten like Drampa or Druddigon back. Are we thinking of the same Azelf? I thought Azelf put damage on things that already had damage counters on them. Yeah, I think it's a great card. Don't get me wrong. Alright. Boom. Let's hope it's a supporter. I still think Caitlin's not bad. We do have to get around this. No, I get what you're saying. We just get into oblivion. I get what you're saying. That's definitely no. What you're saying is 100% right. That Mew bench barrier. So if you're expecting to play against a lot of Psychic Spread in the matchup, I get it. Now, damage counters can't hit for weakness either, and so in some cases, the Behemoth is better because it will do double damage to an active Pokemon. So, just some thoughts. Again, they might be fine. Definitely depends on your meta and what cards you want. I'm just going to put you on that list. I've played a couple of different lists myself, but definitely look at some list. Alright, I think we want Sonia back in the deck. Gets us energy, gets us that. Probably Professor Sycamore, considering our hand is so low here. Alright, let's draw. There's Professor Sycamore. Alright, let's PokéNav first. Druddigon. I mean, those are fine. Top. Bottom. Alright. Let's Druddigon. Let's Trainers Mail. We see Lance is there. The grass spread list, it is hard for me to say anything differently about the grass spread list. The grass spread list is sweet. I'm not sure how competitive it is. So before you do too much thinking about that, just know I think the deck is great. I think it can be competitive in the right situations. It's definitely a hard deck to learn how to play, and against big boys like the water decks and the grass decks that are running around, it can be a difficult grind, but I love that deck so much. The psychic spread list that I was playing was straight copied from Joshua Blotti, so if you've seen my videos, you've seen his deck list. Obviously, a couple of lists on the Gym Leaders Challenges are different. The psychic spread lists are great. If you're also looking, the Lost Zone deck that plays the Sableye is pretty great, so I recommend that as well. So, ideal here. We need to do a bunch of damage. Currently, we're doing 170. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys, again, I'm not going to take too much credit on that list either. Again, original archetype of the deck was Joshua Blotti. I added Hisuian Lilligant, which I really enjoyed playing, and a couple of other kind of techie pieces here and there. There is a lot of Pokemon around. Gosh, this is going to be a tough one. 70 less damage. So we need like a gust effect here, and it's like likely that they just have a gust effect too. So very likely. There's Viridian Forest. Viridian Forest is interesting. We need a gust effect, right? We just talked about that. Likely that our opponent has a gust effect as well. Can we Raihan? Do we have Escape Rope in our deck? No. Okay. So I do think we just need to get Guzma here and kind of pray. So let's Viridian Forest. Let's Guzma up. I mean, that's not really going to do much, and the Druddigon's not going to do much at this point in the game. So maybe we can get some like damage counters on some things. That was a good turn by Marcus. The fact that he was able to have the floatstone here. So that should be game. That's GG's. That was fun. That was a fun game. GG, GG, GG. You got a time for another one, Sir Marcus? Or at least best of 3, maybe? Yeah, it was tough. Our hand wasn't super great, and we were playing to what we had, and it was tough. It was a tough break with the metal core barrier. Metal core barrier there was brutal. Well, hey, it's kind of the same start here, but we do have a Stormy Mountain. I'm down. We have to keep it. Cool. Thanks for Marcus. Appreciate it. Necromancer, back to what you're saying. Your stream is super lagged. It's not on my end, is it? Is anyone else getting some lag? I got 0 frame drops here, so I don't know if it's me or not. But Necromancer, back to what you were saying with the... Oh, do I want to go Gate Job Bog? No, we go... Let's go Stormy Mountain here. Let's Trainers Mail first, see if we can get a ball in our hand. There's a ball. There's a Viridian Forest, there's a Marnie. We got all the things if you wanted to. 4 for 4, that's a rare hit from Trainers Mail. I think we go ahead and get Level Ball here. Time lazy. Gotcha. Alright, Level Ball. Let's Level Ball. I want me some Dratini. We actually have Dratini in our deck now, so we could have saved it for Gabite, I guess. Cool. All good, man. This is all super casual, so if you were to chill out and watch stream, nobody would care. Another boy I want... I think we want the Drampa, right? Like, the Drampa's just always like a, do you want to attack me kind of safeguard here. And then here's the grass. That's kind of our only attach for turn, and I think the only Pokemon that we care about actually having grass to is this. So let's do all of this stuff, and let's say go. Anyway, back Necromancer to what you were saying earlier about how GLC goes back so many cards and there's so many Pokemon. I definitely get what you're saying. Like, I only started playing the game recently. Like, when I was like 9, I used to collect the cards in like the playground and would trade the cards, but I never actually played the game. So I got back into retro, and then coming to GLC, having to like relearn all the cards, and then on top of that, like I missed a couple of the video games here and there. Like, I never played Sun and Moon, which I hear was actually a pretty good one, and I never played Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire, like that whole evolution. So like, there's so many Pokemon in my brain that just like don't exist. Like, someone posted in the Discord an all creamy the other day, and I'm like, what is this Pokemon? It is just sherbert. Like, it is crazy. So I get trying to keep up with all the Pokemon and stuff, which I think is what the Discords are great for. So if you guys haven't already and you're thinking about getting into GLC, I strongly encourage you to check out the Tricky Gym Discord, which is home to Andrew Mahone, who is kind of the godfather of this. And then the second Discord is the Cardboard Warriors Discord, and they're always talking about newest cards, best cards. There's a lot of talk about core trainers. What are the lists, like the most played cards here and there, and the Cardboard Warriors has like a list of the most played cards in different types. So it's a really good resource there. The hardest part is getting GLC cards because they're so cheap. 25-cent card here, 25-cent card there. So at our local tournament, which I run, and we don't really do them in a local store, we do them in a brewery, we allow proxies for everything just because the cards are annoying and hard to get. So it really encourages brewing for people to get cards, and then it also encourages new people to come out and also to brew. So that's one of the big things we have. We don't do a lot of official stuff. Alright, I don't know, do we have Jangmo-o in our deck? I don't know. But I do know that we have to Training Court here. And to get rid of this Tropical Beach, we might just Mallow and Lana and get the Dragonair into our hand, which seems dumb, but it might be what we have to do. Our opponent discarded there, so maybe Training Court wasn't the best. Yeah, I still think we do it. It's just like our only real option that's available to us. If this dies, we're pretty sad, but is there anything that is close to attacking us? Not really. They'd have to have a really spectacular, like, Kling Klang turn, which I don't even think they can because they aren't playing it. I do kind of want to do this though. And then let's Signs of Evolution here. And just get our Dragonair and our Dragonite into our hand. All right. I really love the Metal deck. I'm excited that Metal got some cards printed in Scarlet and Violet. Just like, it really needed the push. It does a lot of kind of neat, interesting things that a lot of architects don't have. It does lack a bit of ability support Pokemon. Obviously, it's got great attack support Pokemon, like the Dialga has the Temporal Backflow, which just gets a card from your discard pile back into your hand. It has the Magearna, which draws you into 6 after you shuffled your hand. So it's got a lot of great support Pokemon. But getting that new Reverum, I think, is just going to be a game changer for it going forward. So if you haven't been keeping an eye on Metal, you might consider it now. I know that Weeder, a big Cardboard Warriors guy, he's doing some work with it as well. Okay. Did they get their energy back? He hasn't noticed that he has an energy yet. Man. Dragonite has a 3 retreat cost. We're going after this this Bronzor. I don't know if it's what we're supposed to do. Our opponent can just like Raihan here into Copper-Rajaing us forever. Green Exploration. Green Exploration's a fun card. I really want to try playing a deck that can play this card well and successfully. The caveat is you have to have no Pokemon with abilities in play, and then it just searches for 2 trainer cards, which is a very powerful effect in this format. Teammates, cards like Rosa, Mallow, all have kind of other stipulations to them, and so the fact that this card can be played in certain decks is kind of cool. Here's Copper-Raja with Muscular Nose. Kind of expected that. This Copper-Raja is going to be a real pain to deal with. So I guess here's the kind of the real question. Do I want to Sycamore or do I want to fast call for something here? Likely that our opponent has something that we can't particularly deal with very well. Like this card is going to be tough to deal with. Alright. Training Court. Let's Pal Pad, just because we're probably about to research here. And maybe we should have waited on the Training Court then, to guarantee the energy if we needed to. But let's Sycamore. Okay, that's not bad. We got this. This can get us this, which Noble Roar attack is kind of fun, but not necessarily what we need at the present. So maybe it was better not to get that. We could have like retreated this and put out our Sonic dude. But that might be what we have to do. So attach an energy here. Let's go and get Guzma. And then let's go. We're kind of like sacrificing the Jangmo. And obviously having the Hakamo and the Kommo in our hands isn't great. Obviously would have preferred to have Dragon called for something else, which we definitely should have done. Alright, heavy ball by our opponent, which I'm assuming can only mean one thing. There's Metal. This game, our opponent got way farther ahead than we did at the beginning, and we kind of struggled. Again, we didn't draw that many supporters. A lot of this deck falls on the back of Dragonite. Here's Guzma. I'm assuming it's... Oh, okay. Actually, Gabite here. I think I'm more okay with this. I'm like more okay than this than I, maybe would have let on. We have Guzman Hollow. Let's check and make sure we got all the things that we need. So martial arts, energy. We have pot helmet, but do we have something else? All right, so let's get Guzman Hollow. Let's do this. Let's discard this. Let's discard this. Let's get martial arts dojo. Let's get pot helmet. Let's get double dragon energy. Probably best to get back to the water here. Let's do this. And let's do this. We'll choose to discard this. Do some damage, 150 damage. If it has 8 damage counters, this can attack. Obviously, our opponent might have a way to heal it, and if our opponent has a way to heal it, I think we're just out of luck. Nest Ball here. Oh, there's our U-turn board. All right, Marnie by our opponent. They're going to draw 5. We're going to draw 4. Marnie is not terrible because we have Dragonite just to kind of draw us out of things. There's an Ordinary Rod. Ordinary Rod's pretty good. Big Drain. Going to do 60 here. And it's going to heal a couple off of itself. Well, let's Ordinary Rod. Let's do both. I kind of want Drampa. I kind of want Gible back into our deck. And then let's put the 2 energy back. So we have an interesting turn. Like we could put this back into our hand. Because this has got 30 less damage. So the way that things stand, we can't really do too much to this. But we can go and get Drampa, who we just put into our deck. And we could return this to our hand after we play Drampa and then attach this energy. But then that means that we're probably, if we should have put Hakamo back in our deck. I like it. It's the fun line. Let's do it. This doesn't work. It doesn't work because this won't have damage counters on it anymore. It would have been fun though. Oh, and we're going to do enough damage to kill that because we have that. Let's get something. Maybe we just get Lance this turn to start putting some boys on the bench. What do we have left? Not a lot. Not a lot in terms of stuff. Maybe Cynthia Caitlin. Just draw some more cards. Let's get back Professor Sycamore. Draw 3 cards. And let's get set up for some revenging. We didn't draw any of the energy we needed for revenging, though. So let's put an energy there. Let's do this. Oh, did I miscount? Are we not? 40 more damage, 130. So 130 minus 30? Am I missing something? Does this not count as a fighting energy when it's in play? Is that bugged or am I just bad at this? Oh, basic fighting energy. Yep, we're bad at this. Guess we could have put an energy here. Well, Druddigon, obviously. Man, making a lot of mistakes. Don't be old, because you get real tired late at night, which, again, 9:30 feels late at night, and you make a lot of mistakes. Let's double colors energy, which is pretty sweet. Put out the Melmetal. Alright. Now we gotta put out this again. Well, there's Lance. Not super pleased about it. Let's Lance. Would have loved to have gotten a tool, probably somehow, some way, some shape, some form. Maybe we should be playing Clara too. What do we have in our basic bin? Just the fire energy? Put it on our Dragonite. One water energy from the Dragon Claw being active. There's Crystal Cave, which is annoying. Man, as close as Game 1 was, this Game 2 has not been particularly close. The Caparaja, the early Caparaja, powered up. Really did us in while we struggled to set up. This card is good. Okay, well, we didn't die. We didn't die. Oh, because it could only ingot swing? Needed 2 metal. Well, let's heal our guys. Let's Super Rod some guys back into the deck. What do we want to do here? We could Sonya. I'd love an energy. We could get Sonya and then get the energy that we need, retreat this, and then have enough to kill this. And then they're not really looking to have too many guys coming back up afterwards. I kind of like that. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. Let's make sure we got the energy, though. We need water. There's water and fire. So we need fighting, and we need a water. water. So let's do this. Let's retreat here into this. And then let's attack. Alright. Took a prize. We did it. Alright, there's Lusamine. Lusamine can get us back some stadiums. Training Court, Cape Jaw. Healing some stuff. I don't think the Caparaja can still attack though, right? Interesting play by our opponent here. Unless they have like a max potion or something. Well, there's Mallow Lana, but it's a switch card, right? So they're going to switch and then switch back. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be hard to deal with this. It's healed Caparaja. Alright, I think Gible goes out. Alright. Well, let's go fast, Colin. We got Guzma. Guzma's probably what we have to get, right? Alright, Shot of Power. Do some damage. Attach an energy to the Gible. Yeah. Alright. Heals some things. What's our opponent doing? Attaching the Bronzong. That's going to start putting some energy on stuff. 3 energy in the bin. Probably going to start powering up this Dialga. Putting energy there. Okay, Ultra Ball. I'm okay with Ultra Ball. Alright, let's go searching for energy. Let's do this, let's do this. Let us Ultra Ball. Let's ditch Grass, we don't really need it anymore. I think we're probably going to want to ditch Sycamore with the amount of cards we have left in our deck. Let's get Gabite. Let us evolve Gabite. Yeah, it changed during the course of our games. It got so much better that it's just a new rule change as of this moment. Do I have a fire energy in the bin? No, we do have a water energy in the bin though. So we probably attach this here. Let's go ahead and heal. And then probably do just want to like Lusamine here. Let's get back this. Let's get back Guzma. And then let's play this down. I can fast call to get another card on my deck. All we got's Mallow Lana left. Alright, let's Shout of Power. And then let's put this water energy here. It's not called a comeback yet. We still got to fight through this Caparaja. He was kind of hoping it would die, I think. Kind of giving me an extra turn here to do some stuff. We obviously had to kill this. There's a float stone. So this is probably going to be a pretty interesting turn for us. we can go ahead and like take the prize, right? All right, let's Dragon Call first. Let's get Regidrago. Let's play Regidrago. Let us play a Floatstone here. We can heal this and discard 2 cards, which like discarding these 2 cards is probably fine in the grand scheme of things. What does this need? Fire Grass. We need a fire still. Do we have fire anywhere? Somewhere in our deck potentially. This is going to be rough because this is going to discard 2 cards from our deck. You know, we didn't come not to kill things, you know? We came to kill stuff. We want things dead. We're missing a water energy here. So this fighting energy is kind of worthless currently. I guess it could be the colorless on this if it really comes to it in a pinch. Let's look at our deck just to make sure what we have. Nothing. Literally nothing going on over there. Alright, let's Dragon Blade. Will we mill ourselves out or will we win? There's another fighting energy, which again we've established is not great at the present. Our Garchomp can't be killed. Which is a positive. Some people think it's a positive. Here's teammates. Maybe like escape rope. I mean, they don't really need escape rope light. They can just retreat the Bronzong if they need to. They might get escape rope to push us into it, though. There's Metal Lynx. Who are they powering up? We're probably losing this game. Like, it's probably like 80%, 20%. But we're having a lot of fun. Okie doke. That's interesting. Instead of the Cobalion? I guess kind of push my eyes here is what is happening. Evo Soda, just to burn the card. Alright, here's Quick Guard. They are also preventing some attacks. Well, Versus Seeker is the time we draw. Eight cards in their deck. Like, if we kill the Caparaja, I don't think that they can win, but then we have to find a way to win. That's the problem. I don't think we can find a way to win. Yeah, I kind of need the fire energy, like, somewhere I could potentially get it, because we still have Viridian. No, we don't have Viridian somewhere. We're about to mill ourselves to death, and I love it. Lusamine, put some cards back in their hand. There's Crystal Cave, there's Mallow Lana. Can't use Mallow Lana presently, but they can use Crystal Cave. Heal 2 things. There's 4. Are they going to retreat this? I love it. And it does 160. Okay. I'm down for that. This attack puts stuff on our boy, right? If we use Cynthia, we die, right? Is there a way so we get in? If we get in here, we're still in the game, right? Because we can just in and put more cards back into our deck. So let's hope to in. Let's heal. This revenge attack isn't going to do much. So let's shout of power. We want to attach leaf energy to the Regidrago. Oh god. Alright. In. Oh, we drew in. Okay. We get to live another turn. We get to live. We get to live, guys. Now, if they have energy for Caparajo, we're dead, though, right? I get to see their last prize. There's Level Ball. Just burning cards from their deck. Healing. Oh, they can't attack. What does this do? For each prize that we've taken, so this is 90, 120. I think we still live off of this. Okay. Alright, draw our last card. I still can't attack with this next turn, right? Okay. Giant Fangs is powered. We're dead. GG's. Yeah, fun games, dude. Thanks for the games, Marcus. Those are some beefy metal boys. Tough to deal with. Cool. Well, that's the Dragon deck, guys. Super sweet. I like it a lot. You could see that because the deck is really reliant on Dragonite, that at times the deck can struggle to really get going. I think Game 2, we struggled a little bit more than Game 1. Game 1, even though Dragonair was prized, we were able to kind of use our Gabite to get some good attackers going. We never got to see the Kommo-o plus U-turn board kind of effect going on, and maybe I could have used my tools a little bit better as we went. But the deck is sweet. Again, I think with more dragons being printed potentially in the future, that this archetype could really grow. Again, what it has here is really strong, and I think a really skilled player who's spent a lot of time dedicated to it would probably like know the ins and outs of the energy requirements and everything that they need to do to kind of get set up potentially to kind of take a lot of those positions that we were in those games and kind of take them to victory. Again, on this stream, you guys know that I'm real casual about the decks that I play. I try to play a little bit of everything here and there, and so I don't really learn one deck and show you guys. But this is definitely a deck I've played more than once, and I'm really enjoying it. So if you're interested in the Dragon archetype and you were thinking about getting this one, definitely recommend that you get this. One turn was stuck on Dragonite. That's why I gusted Gabite. Ah, that's right. Yeah. The U-turn combo was really important. that we kind of got, like, during some of those earlier turns, we were getting kind of clogged with the energies that we had. Right, I put the Dratini out front because we were stuck on energy. The only energy that we had drawn was the grass energy, so the only attack we were able to use was Dratini to get Dragonair and Dragonite into our hand. So I had to use the U-turn board to retreat it because its energy cost was 2. I think that was the reason why the U-turn board was on it. Obviously, yes, I would have loved for you not to kill my Gabite because I needed my Gabite to help me set up. So, again, heads up play by you. I really appreciate it. Playing against you, Sir Marcus, really makes me think and it is making me a better player. So I really, really, really appreciate you turning out and playing with us, especially the last couple of weeks. That being said, it is getting close to my bedtime. Thank you guys all for hanging out. I'll probably put this video, I might try to stream later on in the week. Thursday, we have an in-paper tournament again, kind of like our first big event. It's going to be beers and badges. We're going to be playing some GLC at a local brewery. It's a 5-month series, so I might not be streaming this week. I'm hoping to get a webcam. I just ordered a second webcam that's a little bit better about streaming paper cards, so I might be joining some of the webcam leagues that are going on Wednesday. I'm not quite sure how to get that set up to where it is fun to watch streaming, but you guys might see me back on Wednesdays streaming in some of the tournaments that they're having if that's the case. Trying out some Scarlet and Violet cards. But anyway, thank you all again. Big shout out to Sir Marcus for playing with us. Thank you to everyone else for tuning in. See you guys all probably next Monday, but if not, I might surprise you guys with the stream later on this week. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all soon.